Hey everyone, it's the man Andy Bebe, and I'm back here to discuss with you today. We're going to discuss UFC. We're going to discuss what happened this week in the world of pro wrestling, and we're going to discuss what happened in the NBA playoffs. So, hope you stay tuned. Glad to be back. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. And here we go. First and foremost, we're going to start off with the UFC as a popular request. The last fights that I saw was UFC 300. It had some really good fights on there. Had Penn State's own Bo Nickel. He did a great job. One submission in the second round, but it felt like, or at least from what we could see, what he felt like maybe he should have ended it sooner. And we shall see. Dana White, let's get this man a title fight. But what else happened at UFC 300? Probably one of the craziest knockouts I think anybody has ever seen, with Max Holloway knocking out Justin Gaethje in the very last second of the fifth round. It was wild. One of the most craziest endings of a fight that I have ever seen. But yeah, really good. It was a really good card. I did not watch yesterday's UFC 301, but I can pull up the results here. Most of the main card, it looks like everyone won by decision, so that means it went the distance. And the only fighter that I've watched, Jose Aldo, won by decision there. I probably won't be watching any fights till UFC 303. That's at the end of next month, when the return of Conor McGregor taking on Michael Chandler. Can't wait to see it. Does Conor still have it after being in Hollywood for a little bit? If you didn't know, he did a remake of the famous movie Roadhouse. If you haven't watched it, basically Conor was himself, but dialed up times 10. It was a pretty funny at times movie. But on to our next topic. I'm going to talk about what's been going on in the NBA playoffs. Last night, the Minnesota Timberwolves, with a huge upset over the Denver Nuggets. I don't think many people were going to think that Minnesota could hang with them this year. But Anthony Edwards and the crew, the Ant-Man as he's known as, got one up on the Denver Nuggets. They look like the team to watch. It's going on right now. Game 7, Cleveland Cavaliers and the Orlando Magic. And Orlando's up pretty big. I think either one of these teams are probably not going to get past Boston in the next round. So, but we shall see. You know, as they say, any given Sunday, right? And And this week, we're going to get, starting tomorrow, game 1 between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. I think the Knicks barely escaped Philly, and it's going to show against the Pacers. The Pacers are they're another one of those teams that's been a shocker so far. So I think probably the Indiana Pacers and the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Finals, and I'm thinking Timberwolves and Thunder. I'm thinking for the finals in the West, but we shall see. On to our next topic. On to our next topic. We're going to go into the world of pro wrestling. Yesterday was WWE's pay-per-view in Backlash. Big winners there was Cody Rhodes over AJ Styles in a phenomenal match. Pun intended. It was a very good match. We got new members of the Bloodline. They defeated Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in a street fight, and it looks like maybe we might be heading towards a Bloodline Civil War, maybe. And speaking of the Bloodline, one of the former member of the Bloodline, Jey Uso, lost to Damian Priest for the World Championship, and there was some new champions to be crowned. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defeated the Kabuki Warriors. Heard it was a really good match. I didn't get to see any of Backlash because I was working. It was overseas. But the wrestling I did get to see this week was AEW, and pretty good. It was good to see Kenny Omega come back, and it was good to see him come back, and excuse me there. But yeah, it's been great week in pro wrestling and in sports all around. But yeah, what else went on Dynamite? Well, we got to see Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge, for those of you that don't know, took on Buddy Murphy for the TNT Championship. It was a really good match. There was some really good matches and a kind of blah ending when the Elite attacked Kenny Omega, their former friend and one of the co-founders of AEW. So that kind of sucked there. And it looks like, speaking of Edge, his former tag team partner Christian Cage, as he's known now, is going to be going after the world title to take on Swerve Strickland. Should be a good first big title match for Swerve. Hopefully he gets the victory, but we shall see. And but yeah, it was good week in sports, good week in wrestling, and for those of you that don't know, it's a great week. It was a great week for comic books as well, because it's yesterday, this past Saturday, May the 4th, was Free Comic Book Day. So there's some great books to get out there if you're lucky and have a comic shop near you. I advise to go check it out, and yeah, I hope everybody has a great weekend and a great week. Till next time, this is the man Andy Bay checking out. Boom.